Top 30 Reggae Protest Anthems of All Time. Rat Race, Bob Marley and the Wailers, 1976. Born in Jamaica's tense political era, Rat Race exposed the endless hustle of the poor against the powerful. Marley sang of corruption and competition tearing society apart. It became a cry for liberation from systems that pit people against each other, a warning that humanity must escape Babylon's endless grind. Police and Thieves, Junior Murvin, 1976. Produced by Lee Scratch Perry, this haunting track mirrored Jamaica's violent political conflicts between rival parties. Mervin's piercing falsetto painted a city where both police and criminals caused bloodshed. It became an anthem for peace and social justice, later embraced by London's punk scene during riots in 1977. Equal Rights, Peter Tosh, 1977. At a time when apartheid raged in South Africa and racism persisted globally, Tosh boldly declared, "I don't want no peace, I need equal rights and justice." It was banned in some regions for its radical message, but around the world it empowered the oppressed to demand fairness before peace. Zimbabwe, Bob Marley and the Wailers, 1979. Written in support of African independence movements, this song became a revolutionary anthem. When Zimbabwe gained independence in 1980, Marley performed it live at the ceremony, a historic moment where his words became reality. It celebrated the victory of liberation over colonialism. 2-7's Clash, Culture, 1977. Joseph Hill drew from Marcus Garvey's prophecy that when 2-7's clash, July 7, 1977, chaos would come to Babylon. Jamaicans took it seriously, many stayed indoors fearing doomsday. The song became a symbol of rebellion and renewal, urging moral awakening amid political collapse. War, Bob Marley and the Wailers, 1976. Using Emperor Haile Selassie's 1963 UN speech, Marley transformed words into a weapon against racism and oppression. War condemned discrimination and colonial rule, echoing the struggle for equality worldwide. It became reggae's most eloquent declaration of human rights. Step and Razor, Peter Tosh, 1977. Originally written by Joe Higgs, Tosh made it his own symbol of defiance. The song's line, "I'm dangerous," became a warning to the oppressor. Released during a time of government crackdowns, it expressed the dignity of a man who refuses to bow at the razor edge of resistance. Armageddon Time, Willie Williams, 1979. In an era of growing social unrest, this song described a moral apocalypse, a world nearing divine judgment. Its heavy rhythm carried a message that Babylon's greed and injustice were leading to destruction. It became a roots reggae anthem of spiritual rebellion. Not Guilty, 1978. A heartfelt cry for justice, Not Guilty resonated with those imprisoned by corrupt systems. It reflected Jamaica's poor who suffered false charges and systemic bias, a reminder that truth outlives lies. Trenchtown Rock, Bob Marley and the Wailers, 1971. Trenchtown was Marley's ghetto home but also the birthplace of reggae. This song celebrated the power of music to lift spirits amidst poverty and political violence. Its line, "One good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain," became a timeless proverb for freedom through art. Marcus Garvey, Burning Spear, 1975. Winston Rodney Burning Spear revived the teachings of Pan-African hero Marcus Garvey, urging Black people to unite and reclaim their heritage. Released during Jamaica's post-colonial awakening, it reignited pride in African identity and became the voice of the roots movement. Babylon System, Bob Marley and the Wailers, 1979. Marley's lyrics condemned the global machinery of oppression, from slavery to economic exploitation. Released on Survival, an album dedicated to African unity, it urged listeners to rebel in the name of Jah and free their minds from indoctrination. It was the intellectual side of rebellion. Declaration of Rights, The Abyssinians, 1969. Inspired by the Book of Psalms and Garveyite ideology, this song demands that the children of Israel, the oppressed, rise against injustice. Its ancient tone and spiritual depth made it one of the earliest roots reggae protest anthems, calling for global human rights. Bongo Man, The Congos, 1977. Produced by Lee Scratch Perry, Bongo Man traces the spiritual journey back to Africa. It's not only about geography, it's about rediscovering self-worth after colonial erasure. Its haunting harmonies became a sacred chant for Rastafarians seeking spiritual repatriation. Get Up, Stand Up, Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, 1973. Written after witnessing poverty in Haiti, Marley and Tosh turned frustration into fire. The song became a universal protest slogan for every struggle from civil rights to climate justice. Its power lay in its simplicity: never stop fighting for your rights. No Nuclear War, Peter Tosh, 1987. At the height of Cold War tension, Tosh's last album warned against nuclear annihilation. No Nuclear War pleaded for sanity in a world obsessed with weapons. His message was clear: peace through justice, not destruction. It remains a haunting call for humanity. Social Living, Burning Spear, 1978. This song came during Jamaica's violent political years, urging unity and brotherhood. Spear's voice carried a plea to end division and live with righteousness. It reminded listeners that true freedom depends on how we treat each other socially, spiritually, and economically. Cool Down the Pace, Gregory Isaacs, 1982. Though more romantic in tone, Cool Down the Pace doubled as a protest against chaos and violence dominating Jamaica. Isaacs urged the nation to calm its fury and rediscover love. It was a soft revolution through gentleness, a reminder that peace begins within. Strange Things, John Holt, 1971. A song of warning, Strange Things described moral decay and confusion in society. As Jamaica moved from colonialism to independence, Holt saw greed and hypocrisy replacing unity. His smooth voice carried the unease of a people searching for moral balance. Fight to Survive, Jimmy Cliff, 1981. Cliff's song captured the spirit of the poor battling for dignity during Jamaica's economic struggles. It was both a lament and a vow that survival in Babylon's system requires courage and faith. For many, it became an anthem of perseverance. Revolution, Dennis Brown, 1985. Released during a time of global uprisings and anti-apartheid movements, Revolution called for a change of consciousness. Brown's message was peaceful yet powerful: that the truest revolution begins with love, not violence. It inspired hope across nations. Jah Live, Bob Marley and the Wailers, 1975. After Emperor Haile Selassie's reported death, doubts shook Rastafarian faith. Marley responded with Jah Live, affirming that the divine never dies. It became a spiritual protest against disbelief, keeping Rastafari's hope alive amid uncertainty. Solidarity, Black Uhuru, 1982. Emerging from the turmoil of Cold War politics, Solidarity spoke to workers and oppressed people worldwide. It encouraged unity across races and nations, reminding listeners that freedom is collective. Its militant rhythm echoed the heartbeat of revolution. Africa Must Be Free by 1983, Hugh Mundell, 1978. Written by a teenage prodigy under Augustus Pablo's mentorship, this song envisioned a liberated Africa. Its title became a prophecy for independence and equality. Tragically, Mundell was killed young, but his voice became immortal, a symbol of youthful resistance. Chant Down Babylon, Bob Marley and the Wailers, 1979. Released during Marley's militant phase, this track urges spiritual warriors to use truth and righteousness to overthrow oppression. Chant Down Babylon wasn't about destruction, it was about enlightenment conquering lies. It remains a mantra for spiritual revolution. Slavery Days, Burning Spear, 1975. Burning Spear asks, do you remember the days of slavery? Forcing society to face its brutal past. During the 1970s Black Pride movement, this song became a bridge between history and awakening. It demanded that the world remember, learn, and change. Legalize It, Peter Tosh, 1976. Far beyond a song about marijuana, Legalize It symbolized freedom of choice and resistance against hypocrisy. Tosh equated the criminalization of herbs with the criminalization of culture. It challenged colonial morality and celebrated natural liberty. Johnny Was, Bob Marley and the Wailers, 1976. This heartbreaking tale of a mother mourning her son speaks against senseless violence and poverty. Released during Jamaica's politically violent elections, it humanized the pain of street warfare. The song became a global anti-violence anthem. Rivers of Babylon, The Melodians, 1970. Based on Psalm 137, it mourns exile while promising hope. Written during Jamaica's post-colonial identity search, it became a hymn for all displaced peoples. From South Africa to Eastern Europe, its message, that faith survives captivity, resonated deeply. Redemption Song, Bob Marley, 1980. Marley's final masterpiece just before his death stripped reggae to its soul. With acoustic simplicity, he called for emancipation from mental slavery. Written while facing mortality, it transcended politics to become a universal prayer for freedom. It was not just a protest song, it was humanity's anthem of redemption. From the dusty streets of Kingston to the freedom squares of Africa, these reggae protest anthems became more than music. They became movement, memory, and message. Each song carried the heartbeat of rebellion, the cry of the oppressed, and the dream of equality. Through their voices, the world learned that rhythm can resist, melody can heal, and truth can't be silenced. These anthems still echo today, reminding us that as long as there's injustice, reggae will keep singing for freedom, hope, and redemption.